Hey guys, that's your Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today, talking some Raid. I'm happy to have you guys here, sending some love, some positive vibes out there, especially, hey, if you're going through something, if you need it out there. This is a weird video. I didn't even know this was all going on until I actually had a collab with Boozor today, right now, at the time of this recording. I was supposed to be collabing with him. I actually had a $1 million account video scrap back on the channel. I really like that guy. It's fun. It's wild to see the account. But I looked at, on my last video with him a few weeks ago, I looked at all of his best dungeon teams. Let me see if I can find the video here. This one, $1 million, what does it get you in Raid Shadow Legends? I thought it'd be really fun to kind of juxtapose that with what does $0 get you? You know, and I was going to have Boozor on to compare the fastest dungeon times in an endgame whale account versus an endgame free-to-play account, right? I thought it'd be really fun, but he's like, dude, I can't do it. Now's not the right time. Have you seen the drama? He seemed really down, you know? In full transparency, I really like Boozor. I really respect his game knowledge. We're not like close friends or anything like that. We don't chat on the daily, but I've always thought his content was really good. I always seemed like a nice, pretty genuine dude as well. That all being said is he backed out because he's getting a lot of heat right now because Hades leaked, I say quote unquote, the content creator perks pack. This is what we get as content creators in the game. Now the crazy thing is, to some of you guys, is that this is weekly, not monthly. We get all this.
Say that again.
This is the top tier. I think there's a couple tiers in the creator program, but Boozor's in the top tier. I'm in the top tier. Hades is in the top tier. Quite a few other creators are in the top tier. By the way, the creator program, I've recommended it to players. And by the way, in today's video, let me just zoom out for a second. I want to talk briefly about the content creator perks and program and clear up any misnomers out there. At the same time, give my thoughts on it. And then I want to get into the kind of Boozor stuff, and I want to kind of share my opinion on that too. So if you're not interested in the creator pack, feel free to fast forward. This is, first of all, it's not a leak by Hell Hades, right? Like, we're under no NDA or anything that we can't talk about this. I've talked about it so many times here on the channel over the years. Boozor's talked about it before. Hades has talked about it before. It's been public, it's over 4 years now this has been going on. 4 years of perks that creators have been getting as well. I actually made a whole video on my second channel talking about why I think that if you've ever been on the fence about making YouTube videos, I started 11 years ago on a channel called CWA Mobile Gaming. I'm still at it over there too. I started covering Clash of Clans, and I just started by like putting a voice memo in my phone, emailing it to myself using a free window movies maker, and then trying to my best to edit the sound over the thing. And that's how I started, you know?
To remind you, don't try this at home.
It was crappy, even crappier than my content currently is, if that's possible.
Maybe I'm a fool.
But, you know, I've come a long way, but I would encourage you guys to do the same, right? If it's not for everybody making content, but if only to subsidize your habit here in Raid Shadow Legends, right? Get the perks, why not?
Hey, come here, look at me. Hey, look at me, what'd I say? No.
Anyway, I digress. I think it's great that they do this, because honestly, making content for Raid Shadow Legends is very expensive. Now, every creator, I'm sure they put this to good use in their own way. At least most creators, you know, you assume. What do I do with all my stuff? Well, I have a channel called Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides, some shameless self-promotion here. I have 428 champion guides. Some of them are good. Some of them are snorting thug. Right? Some of their champions I would never have invested in a billion years, but I'm trying to do everybody. So I use my resources to upgrade all these crappy ass champions, you know, and I'm really thankful that we get these, right? We don't get pay. I mean, we do get compensated, obviously, but we don't. It says in this post, saw someone say they get $1,000 to $1,200 a month. We don't get any like cash stipends or anything like that, but we do get our full perks. We're under embargo for, by the way, for information, like for update information, like the Asgard thing and the Monster Hunters thing and the Xena thing, all that stuff, right? We're under like embargoes where we obviously can't talk about it until it's public knowledge. There's nothing that we can't talk about the program. We get graphics, right? So like going back to my Champ Guides channel here, Like all of these images of all these champions, like that's a perk that we get, right? It's not public, the fan kit. Like a lot of games, this is a creator perk, the high quality images, so I don't have to scrape them off of Google, right? We get update information ahead of everybody else so we can share it with the community. And we get the perks, the in-game perks. That's what we get. And we also get a direct line of communication with the community managers who work at Plarium. So that's what we get. So that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But
What more do you want?
it's nice because I think what I do in my day job is I actually help developers create creator programs. You know, I've been fortunate enough to fly around the world, everywhere from China to Japan to US. And
how did we get here?
Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting long-winded here. I apologize. I think it's great when a developer and content creators have a very, very good mutual symbiotic relationship. What's important for that? A is content creators can help player retention, which is a very important metric for developers because we keep people engaged, right, in the game. And just to call us, to be honest with you guys, keeping players engaged in a game like Raid also means getting more money out of players, because the longer you play this game on average, you're obviously going to spend more if you're inclined to spend to begin with, right? On the creator side, as long as they allow us to have a voice and they don't monitor us, and that can be a slippery slope as well, because some creators might feel, oh, if I say something too critical, maybe it'll take away my perks. Personally, I don't feel that way. And I think my track record speaks for itself, right? Like a new rock bottom with a very maybe not nice thumbnail, right? Talking about, I don't Plarium responds, I'm beyond disappointed, a big rant there too. But like, I think that a lot of creators make a lot of critical content, but not just for the sake of creating critical content. I think that in a good symbiotic relationship between a developer and a creator, I think that we can share pain points of the community and articulate what we hear from our individual communities, and we can be a good conduit for these pain points when we're talking to Plarium, especially behind the scenes as well, you know, when things go well. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the creator program and everything like that, being as fully transparent as I can be. Some people aren't going to be cool with perks. Some people will. I understand, you know, both points of view, but I think it's a nice thing that they do personally, and I'm obviously biased, but, you know, hopefully you guys trust me enough to know that, like, it does kind of make sense, right? Anyway, that all being said, free to play gets weekly packs. Free to play gets weekly free packs. That's Boozor's video. So he addressed this head on in a video, and the comments have been pretty divided. Some people saying that, you know, I still love you. Some people saying fundamentally your account that receives bonuses are massive compared to your normal free to play account. It's not deceiving, but Boozor gets the equivalent of $50 a week. That's $2,600 a year on the account. I actually think it's more than that. I think it's around $250 or so a month, maybe. Well, here's why a CC is able to show up in the day after the fusion ends with a fully bucked, fully mastered champion. It's similar to other loopholes technically, but as free to play, you know it's not really deep down because it's so niche. Well, it is a semantic game, and I'm not here to play the semantic game. Technically, when Boozor first came on the channel, he showed me the receipts. He's never spent $1 in the game. He's technically free. He's playing for free. He has not spent any money. He's using a resource available to all players. The creator program, you make content, you apply to the creator program, you get the perks. So that's one side of the semantic game. The other side of the semantic game is that A, is Boozor deceiving people by saying he has a free-to-play account that does not mirror the experience of any other free-to-play player that's not in the creator program. B, is it, if you're a brand new player to the game, and one of your first experience, maybe you hear Raid Shadow Legends,
It's a dirty, trash, pay-to-win game.
because that's the reputation of Raid in the zeitgeist, as you guys probably know. Even though I guess I'm sadistic that I still love the game, even though I acknowledge that.
Hand it over.
What are you getting?
Here you go.
Get ready to raid.
Maybe you're a new player, and maybe you Google, is Raid Shadow Legends, can Raid Shadow Legends be viable, free to play, or whatever, right? You YouTube search that, and then you see Boozor show up. And then you click on his videos, and you're like, wow, this dude got to the end game, and he's got a stacked account, and he's never spent a dime on the game. Maybe I will give it a shot. Maybe it's not so pay to win after all, right? So you can see how that really, when reality is maybe no, maybe that doesn't mirror the free-to-play experience of 99.999% of players out there, right? So maybe people who kind of like false expectations of what to expect without spending in the game. I think it's undeniable. And like I said, I really like Boozor. My intention isn't to just pile on here. I think it's undeniable too, to be fair, that you do get an advantage. His advantage makes it so that his account is not living the normal free-to-play experience or living what people would assume reading the tagline free-to-play, right? So there's something to be said for that. Do I think that Boozor is maliciously deceiving people? No, I don't think he's malicious. He's never struck me as that kind of a guy, right? And he's been transparent about this in the past. This is not news. He's mentioned that he takes the perks on this account. Also, he has another free-to-play account that is also endgame, which is not part of the creator program. So the man himself in Boozor, I mean, suffice it to say, Boozor has a very good handle, more so than any other content creator, as to what the free-to-play experience is actually like, because he actually has it on another account as well, another endgame account, which he also features on the channel. The thing I like the most about Boozor's channel and his content is he has such a really deep understanding of every niche and nuance and strategy of Raid. Because free-to-play players are playing in a lot of ways a different game. It's not for me. I tried it. It's not for me.
Oh, lazy.
Listen, money is also a very valuable resource, but so is time. And I feel like there's a sliding scale in Raid. It's taboo to even mention, but I feel like there's a sliding scale of some people are comfortable spending a little bit more time on the game. Some people are comfortable spending a little bit more money on the game. And I don't judge either side, right? I think a lot of what free-to-play players do is impressive as all hell. But also, again, at risk of offending, I don't mean this to be offensive, but I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather pay you know, like, as an entertainment thing. And I've been transparent in the past by saying I would not spend as much on this game if I didn't make content for it, especially the shard openings and stuff like that. When you have a decent roster of champions and you can clear the end game content, what do you need the next champion for, right? Anyway, so what do we think about? So I don't think he's maliciously trying to deceive people. However, I do personally, and I don't think he'll agree with me on this, but I do personally think that he should probably, that's a bit unfair. I'm not gonna tell him what to do. He's an adult, he can make his own decisions, but maybe just drop the free-to-play tag, just because of the fact that it doesn't really, you know, even though technically he is, unless he's using the free-to-play account that's not with the creator program, I don't know, maybe it does kind of, like I told you, I already gave the whole rundown of what people could possibly think, you know, that, hey, I could do that, but you really can't. You could do it, but it might take you a few $1,000s or a couple more years, you know, to make that progress. All in all, I think Boozor is a channel that is 100% worth watching every video in, honestly, because the guy is so incredibly knowledgeable. Not only that, but man, he really cares a hell of a lot. He's in the comments giving free-to-play tips.
Move this man!
Or giving tips. I'm not going to use the free-to-play label anymore at risk of you guys pulling out your pitchforks on me. But he's in there giving tips to every single person who asks for it. Does being a nice guy give him immunity? No, of course not. But I think that his heart is in the right place. You know, last year he just started throwing up YouTube videos. I think that he didn't properly maybe think all this out, you know, or at least put a disclaimer there. Hey, I get creator packs or something like that. And the truth is, this can also be, even I am guilty, not of, like, I've surely never tried to pass myself as a free-to-play, that's for sure. But I think that sometimes I could do a better job at highlighting my great haul, highlighting my advanced great haul. Like the hidden ways that what you see on the screen might not actually match your experience on your account, right? And I think that's what it all comes down to. Am I not showing my great haul every single video because I'm trying to hide something? No, but I just think it's not always front of mind. You know, I'm just in the grind. I'm not, but I think I should do it more often, right? So I don't think it was malicious, but I also think that, like, there's no, I'm belaboring the point here, but I do think that probably not going to mirror the free-to-play, even though technically he may very well be able to make the case that he's free-to-play. Boozor's a really sweetheart. I don't think he did this for any bad reasons, and I think that his content is stellar, some of the best in all of YouTube. I can see at the same time the disappointment and the criticism. I would just encourage people, I mean, who am I kidding? It's the freaking internet. People are going to do whatever the hell they want to do regardless, right? But I would encourage people that, you know, personal attacks and stuff like that. I felt for the guy because it was clear that he was feeling pretty down, and it's just not, it's not necessary. It's really not, you know, I mean, you have one life to live too, not to be so soapboxy and preachy here at the end, but I will, damn it. You have one life to live. Just being a voice of negativity on the internet or whatever, it's not going to leave you satisfied. It's not going to be something that you're proud of, you know? That being said, of course, always share your opinion, but like, just to take cheap shots and stuff like that on a guy when he's down, I think he realizes and understands the sentiment, you know, of the community. So I think he said he might make another follow-up video kind of addressing this because it was all off the cuff, similar to my video here. But anyway, guys, I don't know why. I feel like I could just keep talking and talking and talking, but I'll shut up while I'm while I'm below the 20-minute mark in the video. Those are my thoughts on everything revolving this. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think that Boozor should just own the free-to-play tag because he's got the receipts, no spending? Or do you think that no, he's not really free to play, he's getting these perks? Do you think that creators should get perks in general? Do you think they shouldn't get perks? Do you think this is stupid? They should give nobody perks. Everything should be fair and square. Let me know all your opinions in the comments below. I'm sure you will either way. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.